The Burger Boy, a 3-1 lead in a best of 7, but a wonderful setup play there from Ashley Coleman to give himself this opportunity at a double. Very reminiscent of the first leg. He had to go down to double 10, however, this time he smashes in that double 10. He'd be feeling really good about himself. We've got parity after 4 legs. Yeah, a really, really good opening match here. He dealt with the fact he went 2-0 down in this game, remember. 43 left. He's had his trials and tribulations on toss, but no problems in the end. Ashley Coleman with a fantastic opening win. It was Michael Burgoyne that came out the traps very nicely. Remember, he led 2-0 in that match, but Ashley Coleman didn't let his head go down and took the next 4 legs. There's an awful lot of interest. We were concerned, can he handle the pressure? Well, he was pretty dominant for them final 4 legs, and it's a wonderful start for the Prince of Darkness. He wins that opening game. As we move on to game number 2, it's the return of Mike Warburton against Jared Cole.
Well, this is perfectly poised. The single gives Cole a go at tops.
Yeah, we have some fantastic camera angles, but what you probably won't see from there, this is not as easy as... Yeah, that does not surprise me with the angle that was sat.
20.
Well called by Glenn Durrant, but what a disaster that is for Jared Cole. An absolute darting disaster. Single would have left him a go at tops. Even if he hit the treble, he'd had a go at double 1. But he's knocked them out and just handed a gift-wrapped opportunity to his opponent, who gets his go and finds the finish. Calamitous end for Cole. Warburton wins, as he has done in his opening match all week during his Group A campaign, and he gets Group C off to a winning start with the first match he's won against the darts, but with a little help from that disaster at the end from Jared Cole, who should have had a match start himself, instead was picking his arrows up off the floor, and now he'll have to pick himself up after that defeat. Warby wins 4-3. Coming up next, Greg Richie takes on Max de Jong on the side of the barrel.
31.
It's been fine margins between these two. Greg Richie with that final dart. The tops in the previous was the only way separating us. Double 12 this time for de Jong. Like I said, the doubles have deserted him.
25.
He was not
16.
missing them on Monday and Tuesday. So for the match, and an opening win at this Group C campaign for Greg Richie. It was a very slow game, a bit of a slow burner for Greg, and he'll be just delighted to get the 2 points. You can just see the shoulders sag a little bit there for Max de Jong. He had a tough time in the Group A, and he'll have been using that game as a really important. So he topped the numbers there. He had the better average, and there was nothing really between them. But that tops in the 5th leg for Greg Richie. That double at the end there, he sees him 2 points. He'll get better. And next up, it's Michael Burgoyne against Jared Cole.
Treble 18 for starters. Treble 20 for the main course. The bullseye for dessert.
On the 3rd leg,
Jared Cole, the former chef, cooks up a storm. Jared Cole has hauled himself out of it.
Yeah, it was something that Henry actually said in jest, that I was quoted as saying Jared Cole is one of the most inconsistent players I've seen at the Motor Super Series. Now, I'll stand by that. The flashes of brilliance are incredible. Just as quickly and go through that lull. Well, this one sounds a bit fishy. Glenn, do you know my grandpa, Mark Salmon?
And do you?
180.
Well, just saying about how Jared Cole had pulled himself out of a bit of a lull. He's taken out 128 on the bullseye and then thrown a 177 and a 180. He's on a potential 9-darter.
Come on, Jared. Yes, you beauty! What a 9-darter from Jared Cole. We were talking about the lull of that match, then all of a sudden he pings that 9-darter. That, Jared Cole, is absolutely fantastic. Look at the smile of the face. You are the king of the castle.
Quality from Cole. 4-0 win. Ended in the most sensational style. A 9-darter, and let's not forget, before that, Jared Cole had taken out the 128 on the bullseye as well. An absolutely incredible spell to end that match. 4-0, but it's all about the leg that ended it. It was 177, 180, 144. A perfect leg completes a 4-0 win for Jared Cole.
Ashley car 16.
Both players found themselves at 2-2 in their opening matches.
Getting shot on the fourth
And it
leg.
happens again
Ashley
in
Coleman.
game 2. Coleman went on to win 4-2.
Absolutely superb. Potentially 2 darts away from his second win on the spin.
$140.
Well,
Ashley car 62.
Time and a place, Glenn.
Yeah, nothing surprised me. 17 left. 888 for the match. And it is
Game
2
shot
wins
on
out
the
of 2
match,
for Ashley Coleman. He was the headline act this morning. So much interest in the lad. But boy, is he delivering. He'll be delighted with his unbeaten starting for Max de Jong. Some positives there, but an awful lot of work to do. But as we look at the numbers, Ashley Coleman just shy of an 83, but look at the checkout ratio. 4 from 6. That's success for him. And 2 wins out of 2 was next up. It's Mike Warburton against Greg Richie.
Regular
Back
car
to business.
90.
One good thing for Jared Cole, he wasn't on straight away after that 9 days. Had plenty of time to reflect. This is superb from Greg Richie. Big moments here. I think he thought that was in. Can he use that barrel just to kiss it in? Bottom part of the double 15. Absolutely.
Game
What a
shot on the third
sensational
leg.
dart.
Richie.
Greg Richie leads.
Well, it's looking like Richie and Coleman that will have won their first 2.
139.
And once again, not for the first time, the setup play by these players in Group C has been a real credit today. And Greg Richie against
47.
one of the
Regular
real
car
big hitters
40.
in this Group C. This is for the match. A whitewash
Game
win,
shot on the match,
4-0
Greg
victory.
Richie.
He goes top of the table, 2 wins out of 2. The perfect start for Greg Richie. Mike Warburton, plenty of food for thought. They seem to be struggling with the pace of his own game there. He'll go back and try and get himself sorted out, but no darts at a double for Mike Warburton. Not often you say that here at the Motor Super Series, but look at the numbers. Greg Richie's posted performance of the day, 96.97. Great on the finishing as well. Richie, 2 out of 2. And after the break, it'll be Michael Burgoyne against Max de Jong. I think he likes the treble. I was going to say he's been going treble 12 on this route. That probably tells you the mindset of Max de Jong at the moment. It's double 9. Well, we've
Game
seen him
shot
try
on
the
the fourth
blind
leg, Max
180
de
in his
Jong.
previous match, and this time double 18 on the 72.
I have to say I'm enjoying everybody being friendly in the chat room today. It's really appreciated.
180.
Well, look at the watch from Max de Jong. That was a little bit cheeky, wasn't it?
Michael
Tried
car
to leave it as
61.
handy as possible, but Burgoyne will get a chance to win the match. Great dart, great start, great finish.
Game shot on the match,
Great
Michael
win
Burgoyne.
for Michael Burgoyne, who sees off Max de Jong, inflicting a 3rd straight defeat, meaning it could be a very long couple of days for the Dutchman. Burger Boy, though, he has a spring in his step. Burgoyne gets the victory, and look at that finishing. 4 out of 4, absolutely perfect in that department, and that's why he picks up his first points of his Group C campaign. Coming up next, then, it is a return of the man who produced a perfect leg earlier today, Jared Cole. He meets the unbeaten Greg Richie.
Regular car 88.
So it was interesting to see how he responds right now. Certainly no. Greg Richie's responded 11 darter.
Greg Richie.
What a player, what a start.
Regular car 86.
And the way Greg Richie has played in this game, he'll fancy this. It could be a bullseye finish. It is. No even consideration of the treble. What
Game
a way
shot
to
on
win
the
the
match,
game.
Greg Richie.
Greg Richie, 3 wins out of 3. And as ever, Jared Cole totally magnanimous in defeat. Once again, he'll get the headlines. But look at Greg Richie. He's not interested in camera. Straight off the hockey quickly. He was averaging over 100 for the majority of that game. That was a superb professional performance. And he remains unbeaten with 3 wins out of 3. As next up is the return of Ashley Coleman. Can he go 3 wins out of 3? He plays Mike Warburton next. Yeah, he seemed to play with a smile on his face, Ashley, as well. And why not with darts like this?
105.
ton 180, and then a dart that tops for a 125 finish. Everything he touches turns to gold right now. He has that Midas touch.
$78.
A rare
20.
trip downstairs for Mike Warburton, but it won't matter if Coleman takes out double 10. Well, at least he's left it open, and he finds it for a one-leg lead against the Welshman.
Mike McCarr, 16.
I mean, Warburton hasn't been great on his doubles. Hasn't been great on his doubles all day, to be fair, but double 8.
Game shot on the fourth leg.
Warburton, without being at his sparkling best, leads 3-1.
I think Ashley Coleman did. He had a little smile on his face as he approached the hockey. He might have a bigger smile on his face as he
85.
retrieves his darts, but double top
36.
just deserts him. And Mike Warburton, a lucky boy to have even left this double 18. Double 9. Warburton hits it, and Ashley Coleman suffers his first Super Series defeat. Warby getting a win that sees him take his points tally to 4, the same as a man he's just beaten. A 4-1 success, and it was the doubling that was the difference. 4 out of 12 for Warburton, just 1 out of 12 for Coleman, and he was made to pay for those misses and drops points for the first time. Coming up next then, Max de Jong in desperate need of a victory. He takes on the 9-dart man, Jared Cole.
And my heart sank when I saw Kirk Bevins.
Familiar feeling for Kirk, I'm sure. Familiar feeling for Jared Cole, landing a double 12. This time at the end of a 102 combo. Well, bullseye will be the first dart, and hopefully the last dart.
110.
Pretty close, but not close enough.
Yeah, you can see the reaction. He thought that was in, as that was flying in the air. So big 14 bed. Wow.
66.
I had my fingers and toes counting there. Double 18 was quite an ideal route to go. Jared Cole, this has to go. You've been much the better player.
Game show on the fifth
finally
leg.
lead 3-2. Look at that reaction there. It's a huge relief coming out there because panic was setting in. A chance for Jared Cole for the match. 72. He's been here before. He missed the double tops last time. It's double 18. No problem this time for Jared Cole. The horror show continues for Max de Jong. It's 4 losses. And you can see exactly how he feels about that. And a little dance move there from Jared Cole as well. What a day. He's having a 9-darter. 2 wins out of 4 so far. Well, he loves double 12, so treble 19 will be the MO. Could be that bullseye. He needs the 12 bed. Gets it. Bullseye. Huge dart. What a dart from absolute nowhere for Mike Warburton. He gives it a fist pump.
Double top to win it. But that
Michael Lucar 100
disease of the doubles from early in the match has plagued him again.
Yeah, I watched it from overhead. Is it treble 14? That was the effort. Again, such a difficult game when you're in the midst there. That's a little bit wild. And you can just see Warburton there deep in thought. He'll be back for another chance to take out this match.
20.
And a chance he takes. It wasn't pretty for Mike Warburton, but it's 3 wins out of 4. They embrace. That's the 4th time they've played each other. I think Michael knows that Warburton's not at his best, and that'll be the frustration sign for him. For Warburton, he's just collecting these points, and he'll hope to come back with his brilliant best tomorrow. He has 1 more game to go. Nothing at all to separate him in the numbers there, but it's Mike Warburton that gets over the line in the end after the 7 legs. It's top of the table. Greg Richie up next. He plays Ashley Coleman. I get my darts back out. Chance here for Coleman. Double 16. What a fantastic start to the game from both.
The second leg, Ashley Coleman.
After 2 legs, nothing to separate, and the pace of the game.
105. Ashley Coleman 90.
Yeah, lovely setup play once again. So no consideration of treble 18. It's treble 20 for double 15.
Ashley Coleman.
Rapid time. 4 minutes for 3 legs. Bring it on. Let's make this the best of 31.
For the first time, Ashley Coleman producing the performance that everybody's been waiting for.
game of the day. That was absolutely magnificent, Ashley Coleman. There was all this hype about you, all this interest, and now I understand why. And in 7 minutes and 30 seconds, we have just seen 5 legs of darts, and let me wax lyrical over those numbers. 104.10 for Ashley Coleman, and in defeat, 97 for Greg Richie. Immaculate on the doubles for Richie, but that was not good enough. 4 from 5 from Coleman. Performance of the day. Fantastic darts, Ashley. As next up, it's the return of Mike Warburton against Max de Jong.
Mike Ricard 103.
Well, that does improve this match.
What a match! What a performance! What a finish! Well, Max de Jong just hit a 140 and he shouted, "There you are, 2 tops."
65, Mike Ricard 10.
And again, for the match. He gets there in the end. And Mike Warburton goes top of the table. 4 wins out of 5. It wasn't spectacular. And for Max de Jong, he's had the day he'll want to forget at the Modus Super Series. But fair play to Mike Warburton. He's not 100% his best, but he's got 8 points. Tops the table. Job well done today. Penultimate game of the day up next. It's Ashley Coleman against Jared Cole.
Ashley Ricard 87.
We've seen him go 60 bull, haven't we, for a 160 finish. It was remarkable. Now he wants the ball, and he gets the ball, and Coleman clinches the leg. So 161 for Cole. Treble 20. Does he go for it?
129.
Decided against it.
Yeah, the fact he started with the 17s, I thought the only option was the bullseye there.
55, Jared Ricard 32.
Ashley Coleman, not at the races in this leg. This for 1-1.
How awkward is that? How awkward are those?
No score.
Very.
$80, Jared Ricard 32.
Well, he's still got all the time in the world. Double 8 now. Again, he's making it difficult for himself.
24.
Goes back to that decision not to go for the bullseye. Usually you would say, well done, it's the right decision, you've laid up, you've played the percentages. But yeah, you might be thinking, I wish I'd gone for that now.
I just have a funny feeling he's going to get it with his final dart, and that's 9. Missed dart at a double. That's the 9 missed. He hits it here.
4. Ashley Ricard,
well, I'll tell you what, he didn't go for the bull. In the previous leg, Ashley Coleman hit the bull. If he gets a treble 20, he gets another go at it. Well, he would have hit it.
Jared Ricard 4.
Shows him where it is. This is a remarkable unravelling in this second leg.
Yeah, Jared Cole is teasing Ashley Coleman here, but Jared just taking his time. He understands the importance of these darts.
No score.
Well. 12-13 missed darts at a double.
A bit of understandable frustration there from Jared Cole, and that frustration now may have turned to pure anger.
91. Ashley Ricard 80.
Stay straight with the first.
Oh, better. Even better. Double 5.
Game shot on the 4th leg. Ashley Coleman.
Nicely done. Clinical he's been on the outer ring.
Which way does he decide to go on the 140? A long way away. We don't anticipate any further problems from Ashley Coleman. And today, quite simply, Ashley Coleman has been the Prince of Darkness. That was a fantastic day for Ashley Coleman. 4 wins out of 5. What an absolute joy to see him play. The interest was staggering. And for Jared Cole, the 9 darter was just absolutely brilliant. But that inconsistency came back for him. But the day belongs to Ashley Coleman. He puts himself in a fantastic position. And with 1 game to go, sits pretty at the top. Well done, sir. The final game of the day, it's Michael Burgoyne against Greg Richie. Michael Burgoyne been in this match. But Greg Richie looks fabulous.
52. Michael Ricard 60.
to stay in this match.
Game shot on the 5th leg. Michael Burgoyne.
Just throw your last dart, Burger Boy. You get that statistic, Chris, don't you, with your first dart average, second dart and third. I reckon Michael Burgoyne's would be close to 60.
40.
He's a battler, isn't he? Hasn't
60.
managed to turn those fights into victories often enough, but he doesn't often just get swept away, Michael Burgoyne. The only time we saw it was against Jared Cole, when, of course, he won it in the most sensational fashion.
Yeah, very likeable as Burgoyne, and definitely got better as the week's gone along.
96.
I think he'll learn an awful lot here at the Motor Super Series, and no doubt will want to come back and demonstrate the skill set that he has. But this is super.
180.
Well, 141 after
58.
9 darts.
Gregory Carr, 141.
I had to look twice at how many darts he's thrown. That, I won't lie. He's been that good. Set up
91.
play. And is he 2 darts away, or potentially 1 dart away from victory? It's been the type of performance that Greg Richie's put all day. He's been absolutely
93.
superb.
Gregory Carr, 50.
This for the match.
Double top. Double 10.
Game.
And there is the 4th win from the 3rd player on a really exciting opening day of Group C. Greg Richie, a 4-2 success over Michael Burgoyne, a 97.5 average, and he has been the standout player in terms of consistently high level of performance today, and that victory by a margin of 2 legs does take him to the top of the table, albeit on leg difference, with Richie, Coleman and Warburton all getting 4 wins from 5. We will reflect and discuss all of the action from today after this short break. Well, what a day we've had here at the start of Group C at the Motor Super Series. Loads of massive highlights, 3 players tied at the top of the table as well. But one of the magic moments from today came from Jared Cole. I'm delighted to say has joined myself and Glenn Durrant. Jared, we'll start with the good. I think we'll reflect on everything else as well. A 9-dart finish, what a moment.
I'm speechless. Like, that actual moment, it came in the match out of nowhere, out of the day, out of nowhere. I'm ecstatic to sort of like put my name on the highlight reel, but yeah, it just... I don't think I want to watch it. No, I'm joking. I loved every second of it. Obviously, it's fantastic to be involved in a moment like that, and obviously to produce the goods, it's a great feeling, but it just... For me personally, it's sort of like, it's changed the whole reflection on a whole day, because the rest of it, I just couldn't find nothing. Just everything in one match or one leg in this scenario. But yeah, obviously a new day tomorrow.
Did it take you a couple of legs in the next game to really find your feet again? When you've done something like that and left the stage with such elation, did it kind of cause an unexpected hangover?
Yeah, the adrenaline sort of like wouldn't disappear. I don't know how else to explain it, but like sort of, it was a fantastic moment. I was ecstatic, and I've experienced it only once in sort of proper tournament before. It was at the PDC, and like it was a 1 moment thing, and after that I was rubbish for 2-3 legs. And
yeah, World Youth Championship, yeah.
Yes, and it's sort of like since then, well, for the rest of that match, I just couldn't find my range and I couldn't find my rhythm, and then obviously it happened again today. So I'm, in a weird way, I'm sort of annoyed that it happened. I don't know how else to explain it. Obviously, I'm ecstatic for the moment. It looks great, but the rest of the match, I'm like, well, the rest of the week or the day, let's say, but it just felt like it took everything out of me.
Glenn, I'll get your thoughts in 1 second, but if there was a moment that summed up your day, look, let's have a look at it now. Was it that finish against Mike Warburton where you've got the treble 19 in, and then this happens?
I mean, you can see it obviously in the video, and it's sort of like, that dart is not hanging nice. I'm like, I've got one option. Unless I'm going 9 bullseye, which the amount of stick I would have got if I missed, I had to go for it. And yeah, obviously Warby took it out. Fair play to him, but I was kicking myself.
I think we did call that treble 19. We said because his dart was sat so flat, and it came in our ears as well from the production team. 9 bull, that is the option there. I don't think the camera angle really did it justice there. That hitting a big 19 was going to be an easy thing to do. So I don't think he'd have been criticised on the 9 bull, but yeah, it was a tough moment for him and just a most bizarre day as we've walked into this interview. Can you explain that, Glenn? And honestly, I can't. But first of all, I would like to say thank you, Jared. I mean, to commentate on something as spectacular as a 9-darter like that, and the smile that you did, and fair play to Michael Burgoyne, who gave you a big hug and everything as well. It was a special moment for a commentator, and you should thrive and enjoy the moment and go and self-reflect on. Yeah, I wish I was on 8 points and didn't have the 9-darter, but you know, that's something that you can hold there and come back fighting tomorrow and win 5 out of 5.
Yeah, 100%. Like, the fight's still in me, 100%. I know full well I'm capable of running the card tomorrow, but it's a case of getting that out of myself. Obviously, as you say, in flashes, it was there, but I just need to be more consistent.
And finally, from me, like, at least you know it's in your armoury, at least you know it's there. It's your job through preparation and application to find that 184 more regular. I have been criticised of calling you inconsistent. I don't think you're inconsistent today. You had an awful lot of bad luck as well. Whereas Mike Warburton on 8 points, he lived a charmed life today. That's darts. Get your head up and be proud.
100%, you're right there. Yeah, as I say, I know it's in there. I know it's a case of just getting it out of myself, but only time will tell if I do it.
You will.
Well, look, it is going to be tough. Let's just recap the results from today. And yeah, look, it is one of those days, isn't it? You get that win against Michael Burgoyne, a 4-0. Look, you've had that situation against Warburton. That's early on. At that point, what are you expecting from yourself after you've beaten Michael Burgoyne and hitting that 9-darter? What are you thinking is the worst case scenario for today?
It's a difficult way to sum up, because if I'm going by performance, I don't feel like I've played well after 2 games. Obviously, I've had moments and I've had hints of the magic, but it's just not been consistent. I'm just sort of like, I'm in the practice room trying to get the consistency out of myself. I just want to sort of string 4 good legs together, and I'm like, in parts this came, by all means. Against Mike, I felt like if I'd win that match, maybe it's a different day, but yeah, I'm almost trying to ask the question of myself, and I don't like that feeling of sort of like you're making it harder for yourself. By all means, I can't control the treble 19 for now, but sort of like if I win that game and then have the good moment, my mental state, I want to say, is so much better.
My advice to that is like cramming in revision. You shouldn't be putting too much effort into your practice a couple of hours before you're playing, or trying to find that consistency of the day. It should be going back to the weeks and months you've been practicing leading up to that. So don't focus, and don't forget rest and recuperation is great. Sit down and just make sure everything's going right. I thought it actually worked for him, Chris, the fact that he had the 9-darter, then had 4 games off. That's darts.
He usually charges for this stuff, you know, so just watch out he doesn't send you an invoice or something.
I'll be keeping tabs on the emails.
Let's just have a look at the table just to get your summary of how difficult this is going to be, because we've got 3 players all tied on 8 points. They're going to play each other as well, so obviously at least one of them's going to add to that tally. So are you now targeting those players specifically tomorrow, or do you think you're going to need to win every game?
I look at it and go to myself, the best case scenario is you win 4 out of 5 and you scrape through, but my expectations for myself and knowing the game I have in me is to wipe the card tomorrow and to try and win all 5. By all means, it's not going to be easy. It never is. Obviously, this is Modus Super Series for a reason. It's hard. It's a grueling day as well. But I believe I have the capability. It's just a case of getting out on the stage. Obviously, in patches it came today, but I need it to come as a match tomorrow, and hopefully for 5 in a row.
Just a moment, Glenn, to reflect on the other players today. Jared, you can join in with this yourself if you like. Out of the 3 players that are on 8 points, who's the one that stood out for you?
Greg Richie. I mean, I've thoroughly enjoyed Ashley Coleman. Look, I openly admit I don't even know what TikTok is. So to understand the sort of interest in this Ashley Coleman sort of took me back a little bit. I've never seen a debut for interest, and record numbers today, by the way, Jared. What a day to do with a 9-darter, because there was 4,500 people at one point, all down to Ashley Coleman. He dealt with it tremendously well. Everyone, Jared Cole, broke the internet for about 15-20 minutes. He was trending for a period there. But right in the background was a guy called Richie who was smashing in average after average, and it only took a sensational performance from Ashley Coleman to beat him. He was my player of the day.
I can agree with that to a certain degree. Obviously, Ashley was the centre of attention. I think we all knew that from his background and his reputation on, obviously, online social medias. He's a very good player. I've seen bits of him, but it was sort of like, for me, I would argue a case for Mike Warburton, because I don't think he played that well today.
He didn't.
And he was scraping through games, he was winning games, and it's like, if you're in the practice room, you're watching him come off 4-3 and you're chasing points, it's like, I wish that was me. I wish I was the one that won that game 4-3.
Charmed life, we said, Mike Warburton. So I think he'll go and thinking, I've hit the jackpot today, and if he comes back playing like he does tomorrow, then the rest may need to be figured. I just think Richie will not get a single headline tonight, and I just thought it was terrific. It was a brilliant day of darts.
Yeah, no, the actual standard today was brilliant. I think Mike sort of, again, obviously all week he's sort of somewhat gone under the radar, so he deserved a 4 out of 5 day because he was scrapping and he was working hard for the wins he got. But I'm just sort of like, Ashley Coleman stole the headlights. And I mean, I can argue Richie as well. I think the pair of them deserved 8 points because they both did the right things at the right time. Which is cliche because it's not what I did.
But none of them were trending like you.
No, exactly that.
Absolutely. Well, look, you did steal his thunder a little bit with that 9 darter, but today is only half the story. You'll go again tomorrow. Glenn, we'll go again tonight, and I hope that you can join us this evening as well. Group B gets underway from 10 p.m. live here on the Modus Super Series YouTube channel. Do join us. We might even get another perfect leg. Who knows, eh?